All right then. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, you wonderful, wonderful vault dweller types. Yes, I am back for you, my favorite Fallout 76 people. And by favorite, I mean people who are watching this channel because you are my favorites, and I thank you for that. And if this is your first time, hey, well been there. Give me a like, follow, subscribe. Thank you so much for that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this because this week, the week of August the 12th through August the 19th, how is it the middle of August? How? This week, August 12th through August 19th, brings not only the regular challenges, but also a mini challenge event. So let's start by talking about this and where you can go to find out more about it. From the main menu, as you log in, go to Seasons, and then it's going to give you two options. The regular season, where you can come over and claim stuff you haven't necessarily had a chance to claim yet. And then also the Marvelous Fishing Excursion, complete with Marshal Mallow. Now, I have to say this. I cosplay as a Ghostbuster for charity purposes around my home state of West Virginia. Yeah, that's a thing. Really, it's a thing. You can look us up. Creative Cosplay, the Mid-Ohio Valley. Links in the description. Um, so I am practically contractually obligated to do anything that involves catching marshmallows. Sort of, sort of been a thing since 1984. So I have to do this myself. Whether you do or not is up to you. You have various rewards that are available for tickets, but they're all going to start with the Marshal Mallow fishing hat, which you gain for 0 tickets. So that's the very first thing you are going to want to do. It's the very first thing you're going to have to do. Then you can start claiming this other stuff if you have available tickets. Now, I do, but uh, I'm terrible. And you may not have enough tickets for this. So if you don't, you will find a way to get them, and you'll get all the tickets you need for this. Now, as a bonus, if you already have the tickets, you can just go ahead and buy these up. And then as you complete the special challenges you'll get, you will get more tickets to replenish what you're about to spend. So, am I going to do something like that? Yeah, probably. Not right this moment, because I want to get on to the challenges. Now, I haven't seen these yet in person, so we're going to be doing this together like a boss. Let me just go ahead and play. And I'm going to flip into a private adventure this particular time because I do not remember where I logged out last time, and it may not be a friendly location. Or it may be filled with other players who I don't want in the video. So I'm going to jump to that. Now, as I do, one thing that you will have to do to start these special challenges is to go to a armor bench and make the hat. Now, the good news is once you make the hat and put it on, reportedly from several different, very influential, very wonderful people, including Duchess Flame and Spudgun Rich, who I hold in highest of high esteems for Fallout 76 content, have both said that you're able to equip it, then get in your power armor, and the game is looking at it like, oh, well, he wears it when he's out of his power armor, so it'll count. Now, you can't fish while in power armor, which I just find rude because honestly, I'd like to just jump into the bottom of the sea where I'm able to breathe without having to use oxygen and beat up the fish of Appalachia. Unfortunately, I can't do that. So, while it won't count for the fish you have to fish, it will count for the mirelurks and gulpers you have to fry. Keep that in mind. So, if you are a power armor user like myself primarily, and you hate it when a challenge says, wait, I actually have to walk around in plain clothes to do something? Well, this time you can at least put it on and stick in your power armor with you. It won't show, but it's there, and you should get credit at the time of me saying this, as we all wait for the game to load. Patiently. Little less patient than normal. Come on, guys, some of us are shooting B-roll content here. All right, regardless, let's take a quick look at what we have for our daily and weekly challenges for the week of, as I said, August 12th through August 19th. And as always, keep in mind that my challenges may look a little bit different than yours. Why? Well, because I've already maxed out my level. I've got Fallout first, so my scores might be a little higher than yours if you don't. And on top of that, as a reminder, if you are above level 100, you have to earn bonus score by completing public events. Those are those events with the exclamation points on them. If you're under level 100, you gain bonus score by earning EXP. And we'll talk more about that next season. So Let's go ahead and dive into the weekly because these are going to take a little bit of time to go through. Collecting Radaway or Red X and muting my phone. This is simple. You're going to get this just about everywhere. You get it as a reward from a lot of different events, so don't really worry about it. Go to a vendor if you must and buy some, or pop over and to a chemistry station and make some, but really you will have no problems doing this. Your first 2 or 3 events will more than likely give you enough Radaway and Rad-X for what you need. Collecting teddy bears. Little harder to do, and I'm going to be honest with you. My favorite place to collect them is going to be in one of the expeditions, which is something that don't often say. So let me first run through a couple of non expedition locations you can go to. You can always pick up a bunch of them at Camden Park. You can grab some of them in Dolly Sod's Wilderness, which is up here. Dolly Sod's Wilderness. There is a gift shop in one of these buildings over here. Sometimes you can find them in and around Clancy Manor. You'll find them just in a lot of other locations. Tyler County Fairgrounds is a good one. But when I need to look for them, I go to I go to Atlantic City. It's been a while. Then I go to the boardwalk, and then I do the most sensational game. As you're going through this, once you're off of the boardwalk proper and you're in the club that you have to go to, if once you're in the second major room, if you look to the right, there is a gift shop. Usually plenty of stuffed animals, sometimes board games and other stuff that you can pick those up on. And to me, it's just a quick jaunt at an instance location. So it works fairly well for me. Moving on from that, completing 3 daily operations. This is going to be hit and miss. Sometimes you love doing them, sometimes you don't. It really just depends on what the mutations are any given week. Personally, my preference is decryption. I can usually beat it solo in under 8 minutes. But I don't know. I've been doing daily ops since daily ops came out, and the magic for them's kind of left me. Cripple super mutants limbs 30. So with this, you're just going to have to target super mutants, shoot off their heads, their arms, their legs. Um, Torsos, of course, also catch, but you know. So if you need that many, you're going to West Tech. Straight up, you are going into West Tech Research Center. You'll wipe out what's in front, then go through the instance. Or I would head to Huntersville, do the same thing there. However, one of our challenges also has us eating a bunch of vegetables. So for that, my favorite place to go farm any kind of vegetables is the General Steakhouse. Go there, go behind the steakhouse. There is a garden, and it is just loaded. So super mutants infest that. So it's a great place to go to pick some up. Moving on, your vegetables. Killing gulpers. Gulpers, I don't like this challenge. I also don't like the fact that there's a dot in the middle of my screen. That's not normal. Okay, new bug detected. Wiping out gulpers. Look, everybody knows where they're at, and that's going to be Gulper Lagoon. And that's it. They do occasionally spawn outside of Dire Chemical. They do occasionally spawn, rarely, around Dolly Sod's Wilderness. You can get them at the... Where is that event? Oh, my brain just froze. The Moonshine event that spawns somewhere up around here, somewhere around Sunday Brothers Cabin. Um, of course, they do spawn during Moonshine Jamboree. That's what I was thinking of as the main enemy. You can also pick them up when they spawn in Arctos Pharma event, and that is... I forget. It's the event that spawns at Arctos Pharma, and I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. Fail on my part. Sorry. I'll remember it 2 minutes after this video is over. Other than that, you're hoping for the best of having a random encounter with them, or you hope that somebody lobs a nuke, spawns Scorch Beast Queen, and she spawns some. And the snag with this is because they only spawn at so many, relatively few locations, everybody on the server is going to go there to hunt them down. So it may take you a few days to pick them up. If it does, it does. Or just reset the challenge, which is likely what I'm going to be doing. Killing a Scorched. All right. Speaking of Scorched Peace Queen, obviously, if you want to get the most scorched for your bang for your buck, drop a nuke over here and wipe out the SPQ. Otherwise, just pay a visit to the various fissure sites, and that'll be your fastest way to pick up oodles and gobs of Scorched, unless you happen to get lucky and you find them as the enemy in a daily ops. So, I don't know if we're going to be that lucky, but maybe I'll do that. Moving on, back to weekly events. Scrapping junk to produce antiseptic and plastic. So, let's take a quick look here, because sometimes I get this right and sometimes I don't. You can bulk plastic. You can bulk a lot of different materials. And if you're not familiar with that, come over to a tinkerer's workbench, get out of your power armor if you're wearing it, slowly. Any tinkerer's workbench, go to craft, go to bulk, and then there's a list of items that you can turn into bulk. And all they take are just, a pile of scrap and then, just a couple pieces of plastic. So we cannot do this for antiseptic. And I have a tendency of saying we can because I'm not always the brightest. But what we can do with this, though, is we can look for things like Abraxo cleaner and toothpaste and turpentine and just a bunch of things like that. So, where do we go to get them? And it's not like I'm sitting over here Googling this as I say this. Um, One of the quickest locations to find in brain froze again. So get me out of here. Yes, I want out. Thank you. Abraxo cleaner is one of the quickest spots. You can find some in a building outside of the White Spring Resort. There's a little maintenance shed. It usually has a lot of Abraxo cleaner in it. Then for another good location, you can also pick up, let's take a quick look, and I am making sure that I don't say anything out of turn on this one. We're going to also run over to the Overseer's house, which I have not been into in a very, very long time. There's the Overseer's camp. The Overseer's house is... I really should know this. I should know this, and there it is, the Overseer's home. Over here, just north of Sutton Station, she's got a bunch of stuff squirreled away down in her basement. That is a major location for that. You can also track some down. Uh, and then there's a special hotspot. No, there is a special hotspot. One place that I've been going to find a bunch of stuff like this is down at both High, is it High Knob? Yeah. High Knob Lookout down here in this area. This is a lot of Blood Eagles in it, but once you go to this station, you can go inside and they've got a basement that is stocked with stuff. And that's just a good place to go. So look for a Abraxo cleaner. Look for turpentine. Look for oil canisters. Those won't produce antiseptic, but stuff around them usually will. Finally, scrapping junk to produce plastic. All right, that one you just bulk up and call it. Scrap junk to produce oil. That one we can do it in bulk. Collecting brain fungus is super easy. This is the easiest one you can possibly do. So run over here to Hopewell Cave. There is a death claw inside, so get some death claw steaks. And you can also have some trash mobs outside of it. There's a fissure site if you're still looking to kill Scorched. But Hopewell has firecracker berries, which make a tea that gives you bonus to your crit, and also a slew of brain fungus through there. So you can pick that up very easily right in there. Energy ammo. All right, so really just shoot things. If you're not using an energy weapon, make some, is all I can tell you. Contextual drops on this one's going to be your favorite. Completing an event while on a team. Okay, so make a team and do an event. You don't actually have to join someone else, just make a team and you'll complete an event. And then complete an event, I should say. All right, cripple a Mirelurk's limb and kill blood eagles. Well, Mirelurks, quickest places to go get them. My favorite is Sunrise Field because there is a huge slew of cranberries down in this area. Second favorite is Query X3 or the Swarm of Suitors event that pops up over here-ish. You can also find some like Smith Farm, I think, or Woods Estate. One of these farms usually has a swarm of Mirelurks. But you only need to get 2 limbs, so it shouldn't take you too very long. Or if you happen to be up in the mire, while I think of it, Highland Marsh. So once you run through Gulper Lagoon, you want to sneak over to Highland Marsh, you'll find some. Then Blood Eagles. Blood Eagles spawn at Blood Eagle camps like Ammo Dump, like The Vantage, like Crimson Prospect, or Rollins Labor Camp, or Widow's Perch. So you're looking for this icon on your map, and that's where you're going to find your 10 Blood Eagles. Moving on from them, take a camera picture of a super mutant. So when you go super mutant hunting, I would do at least some of it today, to head to West Tech, head to Huntersville, and then after you shoot your super mutants, take a photo of them, which is creepy, but we can go with that. Now, let's talk about this. This special season has 2 weeks worth of events. These are all the events for week 1. And with this, you'll want to have that Marshal Mallow fishing hat equipped. And as you do, you'll be doing all these. So whatever you wear normally, you'll be wearing this. Even if you have power armor, you do need to go craft this and put this on. Then we need to go fishing. But let me tell you a couple things about this really quick. First, all regional fishing challenges means these challenges. Catching a fish in cranberry bog, crashing fish in forest, mire, and is there one other? No, just those 3. Should nab you an extra 60 tickets. You also have to catch a fish while intoxicated. I don't like this. I don't like that they make you get drunk for this challenge for a variety of personal reasons. So grab your beer and chug and then go find fish. I'll do one of these while intoxicated in game. If you collect 76 fish this week, you'll earn 100 tickets. All right, well, this alone is 10, 20, 30. Then you just have to pick up an extra 46. All right. Collect bait with the Marshal Mallow fishing hat equipped. This one's a little less fun. However, you'll do this fairly easily. All you have to do is just do the challenge over here, spawned by Captain Raymond. Go through this on daily, and the reward every day is improved and common bait, both. So that will nab you that. And if you're lucky, he's going to send you to a spot that you have to catch fish in for this challenge. I was not so lucky. For me, he's sending me off to the ash heap. All right. So that will get you the bait. If not in one run, 2 days will take care of that, but you should get it in one. All right. We've already talked about this. We've already talked about where to go to find Mirelurks. So again, best locations possible. Query X3, Sunrise Field, and Highland Marsh. Those are your 3 places. You'll also find Mirelurk Queens there, which you'll need to know for next week. Or, as always, you can do Swarm of Suitors over in this general direction. All right, that's largely it, everybody. Oh, also have to create a replica fishing rod at a Tinkerer's Workbench. And that's going to be over here. Craft. Somewhere. Fishing. There we go. One of these. But again, you do have to wear that fisherman's hat. All right. That's everything. I wish I could give you some more information. I wish I could help you out a little bit more with the turpentine. My brain has froze, which is funny considering how unforgivingly hot it is. So fast recap. Collect Radaway or Rad X. Just exist. Collect teddy bears, do an expedition, or run over to places like Tyler County Fairgrounds, or head off to find some in the White Springs. and other locations similar to that. Daily operations, not so hard. Super mutants limbs, again, you just need to pick up 30 of them. 25 vegetables. Gulpers are not going to be the most fun. Kill Scorched, just visit Scorched Beach fishers and take care of them there. Antiseptic, again, you're looking for things like turpentine. You're looking for things like a Braxo cleaner. Scrap junk to produce plastic, you do that with just bulk. But whatever you do, however you do it, don't forget to go to Seasons, Marvelous Fishing, and claim your marshmallow fishing hat, and then make the hat before you start doing everything. With all that said, hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you all again soon. Until then, enjoy.